So I saw The Bling Ring last night, and I have to say it was really moving. What I took away from it was how obsessed we are in our culture, our obsession with materials and celebrities. I also learned that Paris Hilton has the most fabulous clothes ever. I mean, the first thing I wanted to do after I saw this movie was to go to Louis Vuitton or Chanel, and I think I'll do that after this. I mean, that's what's important in life, right? Is uh, love in your family, trying to take care of people less fortunate than you, looking fabulous while doing it. Okay, enough of this nonsense. So this film is directed by Sofia Coppola, who is a woman that I greatly admire. She's one of my favorite directors today, and I think a lot of it just has to do with her taste. She's very chic and kind of fashionable in a very unique way, yet she's very understated, very minimalistic. A lot of the themes that you see in her films would be characters that have a lot of privilege and fame and fortune, and the pros and cons that go along with that. You see a lot of loneliness in her films, desolation. There's a lot of influence from French New Wave in there that you can see. And apparently, Sophia really likes stripper poles. But The Bling Ring is quite different from a lot of her other movies. It's very electrifying, energetic, and it's got a lot of aggression in it rather than being quite somber like a lot of her other movies. I think in some ways this worked to the advantage of the film, and then in other ways it didn't. So, of course, I'm going to start with the pros and then go to the cons. First of all, I really thought that the humor was quite surprising. This is definitely a satire that is sort of a commentary on our world, our culture, and its obsession with celebrity and social media, media in general, and how we want everything here and now. It's all about materialism, basically. We live in a culture where we are completely obsessed with ourselves. We're on Twitter tweeting when we brushed our teeth, what we ate for breakfast. I'm guilty of that. I mean, hello, I have a YouTube channel so people can listen to what I think. Worship me. And the actors captured the Valley Girl accent really well, to the point where it was kind of over the top and cheeky, but very funny at the same time. The one thing that worked so well for me was the cinematography and, of course, the filmmaking in general. Because, Sophia, whether you like her films or not, you have to agree that her movies are beautifully made. The great thing about her movies is that they deal with very difficult and complex subjects that are often quite somber, as I said, but they're juxtaposed with this beautiful style. So here, it's got this kind of hazy, fantasy-like glow, and the slow motion sequences are gorgeous. But at the same time, they capture that sense of isolation and fear and sadness. And I just love that. Because in one way, we're kind of appalled by these teenagers and what they're doing, but at the same time, we're kind of swept up in the beauty of the whole film, and that's what makes it complex. My favorite shot in the entire film was this extreme long shot of these two characters that are robbing one of the celebrity houses, and it's all kind of lots of glass windows so you can see them running around in the house, but it's very quiet and you can hear the sirens, and it really is a powerful moment because you're sitting there watching them, yet you're fascinated and you can't stop watching. So that was really cool. Now, the things I did not like about this film, and Sophia has been criticized for this before, but I think this time I think there's genuine reason for her to be criticized. Um, this movie is too much too much on the surface. Yes, it is beautifully made, and it really does touch on some very interesting subjects that capture the zeitgeist, and it's a commentary on our culture, but at the same time, I never felt like I got to know the characters very well. I mean, you do see outlines and even a touch of complexity in some of them, particularly the main character who's the guy. His name is Mark in the movie. He was somewhat interesting, but the rest of them are just kind of caricatures or outlines of characters, and you never really get to know who they are as people. And that, to me, deserves just as much complexity as the visuals. So, although I did enjoy the film on an entertainment basis, and even though I thought about it a lot and couldn't help but be hypnotized by the way that it was made and the way it was crafted, I was left a little bit cold and empty. And I think that this film doesn't compare to, say, her early work. My favorite film she ever made, Sophia made, was The Virgin Suicides. To me, that captures characterization and themes just as much as the visual aspect. So I wanted more from this movie, but if you're a fan of Sofia Coppola, I think you're gonna like this. You may not like it as much as, say, Lost in Translation, but it's still a solid effort, and it's quite funny and very entertaining. But anyway, that is my review. You can follow me on Twitter. The link is below. As always, please feel free to comment and let me know what you thought about the movie, and I will catch you all next time. Thanks for listening.